Hey guys, it's Overlord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Masters of the Universe Origins Battle Armor Skeletor. And wouldn't you know it, soon after I finished recording my Battle Armor He-Man video that I put up yesterday, check that out if you haven't already, the local buddy who shall not be named for privacy reasons brought me the Battle Armor Skeletor that very same day. So special shout out to him and his twin brother. So there you go. Once again, providing for the channel. But getting started here, he of course comes with the mini comic, which I believe is the same as Battle Armor He-Man. Here's the front. Here's the back. No spoilers, get your own. I'm sure there's plenty of He-Man in here for those of you who want that, so there you go. He also comes with instructions in case you're as dumb as a box of rocks and don't know where arms and legs go. Which I actually have a funny story about that in just a moment here. And then as far as extra accessories that he's not already carrying on his person, comes with an extra head and an extra grip hand for his left arm. And this head, I believe, is supposed to be the vintage-inspired head, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty cool. He's got a bit of a smirk there. Looks like he's plotting or welcoming you into Walmart, which is actually where this thing was picked up. So check your local Walmarts. But bringing him up close here, he of course comes with the Power Sword. This is the same side as the Battle Armor He-Man. And I actually checked this as well. Both halves clicked together do fit in the effect piece that came with said Battle Armor He-Man. So there's that. He also comes with the Havoc Staff, of course. Signature weapon. Not too warped out of package either, so that's pretty good. And last but certainly not least, he comes with this awesome shield, which is something I wish the Battle Armor He-Man came with. But he comes with that effect piece again, as I mentioned earlier. But this is a little bit more than I thought it was going to be, because originally I thought this was just going to be the He-Man shield in purple. It is not. It is a completely different sculpt entirely with the exception of the bottom. So kudos to Mattel on that one. I like the little skull in the middle, the little studs surrounding it. And I will say it is a bit tricky to get on his arm, and he holds it more like a disc than a shield. It's a little bit forward for my taste. You can't really get it on the side because he's got his little monster fins, but that's okay. I guess if you had the Origins of Evil Keldor figure, you would be able to clip this right on and just check quick. Nope, no stress marks, so we're good. These are pretty solid clips. You wouldn't think so, but they're pretty chunky, so that is that. And taking a close-up look at the head sculpt that he comes packaged with, this kind of reminds me of one of the Realm of the Underworld guys. I think his name was the Acromancer, or maybe it was the Necromancer. Either way, it's a line done by Zolo World, and they're kind of like MOTU knockoff type figures. Kind of looks like the second version of that evil Skull King guy from that line, or wizard, whatever he's supposed to be. Looks a little bit like that, so I wonder if that's not an homage to that. That'd be kind of nice. Just little hints here and there. I know, what is it, Duplicat's kind of an homage to a custom by Joe Amato. Hope I got his name right. But articulation on this guy, his head does move around pretty good. And you, of course, can pop the head off. Ooh. I made his gimmick go off. Whoops, hold on. There we go. You can, of course, pop his head off and swap others on. That's not difficult. Which is something I'm thinking about doing. with this figure. As much as I like this head, I might give him the retail release Skeletor's kind of face. His shoulders go out to the side. He also has that kind of butterfly joint thing going on like Battle Armor He-Man. It feels a little bit more limited on this guy, but it's whatever. It's mostly for adjustments. But you can bend his arm back down. You can move it forward and back. He's got a swivel at the elbow as well as a hinge. And I think that's in all the way. Now, I will say on this side, if I give it a good tug here, that's what she said, it actually comes out. Now, I don't believe it's supposed to. I think the hole might just be a little bit wider on mine, just by a smidge. It's not loose or anything. It does plug back in and doesn't pop out as I articulate the figure around. But I figured I'd show you guys that because I thought it was interesting. Again, it is quite a chore to get back in there, so there we go. But yeah, it was kind of popping out when I opened him, so I just pushed it back in, and then I'm like, I wonder if that could come out, and sure enough it does. The other side is about the same as far as being in the hole, and this one is not coming out, so that one's gonna stay right where it is. His wrists are on swivels and hinges, and you can of course pop those out as well, like so. Not too difficult. You can plug him back in. I will say the hinges are a little bit tighter on this guy than on my original retail release basic Skeletor, but that figure is a year old now. It's the time of me getting this guy. He's got a waist swivel, which is okay. It's a little loose, but not too bad. Not what was it? It wasn't Hordak. Roboto bad. Thing was like a Funko Pop bobblehead. It's got the T-jointed hips that move forward and back, out and back in. Got a little schmutzy on the thigh there. He's got a hinge at the knee with a swivel, and he does have kind of loose knees, I've noticed. Just like on the Battle Armor He-Man, which I did swap his legs back on because some of the coloring was actually a bit different, more so than I realized. So he's got his original legs back. I will say, though, the boot swivels are good on both sides, and the feet are nice and tight. So you can kind of compensate for that looseness a little bit. But as long as he doesn't take a shelf dive, I'll leave him as is. But of course, since he is a Battle Armor figure, he does have the gimmick in his chest. Now, I will say, I have an original Battle Armor Skeletor. I don't remember all this kind of skeletal detail added to it. I thought it was just like a smooth piece. I could be wrong, but I don't remember any of this on my original one, which, like many MOTU vintage figures I have, is in storage right now, so I can't get to it for a comparison, but I'm sure you've seen that a million times by now. But if you press on the chest, it springs up. It's got a little scratch, and then he's got the big old chunk missing out of it. So yeah, his work's like pretty good. I will say it is a bit hard to get it to the neutral setting, but it can be done. So doing that again. Uno, dos, and yeah. I like this gimmick. I don't mind the gap either. I know some people don't care for the gap, but I think if anything it helps the gimmick function properly. And that's probably why they did it. But I can understand how it affects the aesthetic to an extent. But again, it doesn't bother me too much. And he of course has the little slit on his back for the sword to go into. And it does fit in there nice and secure. I will say, I think He-Man's was a little bit tighter in there, but it's probably just luck of the draw, really. Putting his Havoc staff in his hand. I'm going to leave the shield off, because it is a bit of a pain in the butt to get on there. I'll probably put that on for the end of the video. There's our Battle Armor Skeletor. Looking cool. So that being said, let's take a look some comparisons. First up, here's our BattleArmorSkeletor next to the BattleArmor He-Man figure. And I gotta say, of the two, I think I like BattleArmorSkeletor a little bit more. I think his accessories just kind of edge him over BattleArmor He-Man just a little bit. Still a fun figure though. And at this point, I believe I'm only missing the Buzzsaw Hordak as far as the deluxe figures go, because Clamp Champ is in my pile of loot over on BBTS, so looking forward to those. Up next, here he is next to the other two versions of Skeletor I currently have from Master of the Universe Origins line. We have the standard retail release, which you can pretty much find anywhere and everywhere, because let's be real, there's probably about 50 of those within an hour radius of here. And we also have Keldor from the Target exclusive Origins of Evil 2-pack, which is also relatively easy to find nowadays. Still really love that figure though. Can't bring myself to take that Keldor head off though. It's just too nice. That said, it's to my understanding that we are going to receive another standard release of Skeletor at the $15 price point. Pretty much going to be the same as that guy on the left there, but it's going to have this head sculpt, the more vintage inspired head sculpt, and a full power sword like Keldor, not like the Battle Armor or the first release who just have the half sword. So that is something interesting to note. That, and another thing that I like to point out, is the first release of Skeletor, the blue appears to be a little bit more muted and the purple is a little bit brighter, whereas on Battle Armor and Keldor, the purple is a little bit more muted and the blue is a lot brighter. So I'm curious what the new standard retail release is going to look like, because you can almost make a pseudo mini comics Skeletor, because of course in that Origins of Evil 2-pack you got this head, the semi-Alcala style head, but I don't believe the Alcala Skeletor had bracelets on his arms. I believe he had the fins, the monster fins, which if you could take the arms off of Battle Armor you could make easily, but as it stands, because the arms don't come off the Battle Armor figures, you can't do that. Also, another thing I'd like to point out, can't make a Battle Armor Scareglow out of this figure. A little bit bummed about that, but I digress. Lastly, here he is next to our two regulars. Got the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and I don't think it's a surprise to any of you when I say this, this is my favorite deluxe figure from the Masters of the Universe Origins line thus far. I just gotta be honest here, man. I've had the most fun with this guy. I think he's got the best accessories you could possibly give to one of these figures. The shield is a nice bonus and a pleasant surprise, because I was not expecting it to be unique to Skeletor. I thought it was just going to be the He-Man shield, but in purple. It's a lot more than that, and I approve of that. So with that being said, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. I think he's a super fun figure. I think he's a little bit better than the Battle Armor He-Man I just took a look at yesterday. Go check that out if you haven't already. And as of now, he's my favorite deluxe figure in this line so far. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Let's show that algorithm who's boss, right? Also, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. And don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure, if you like it, want it, or hate it. But remember, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I will catch you guys later.